What's up, everyone? I'm Sophia Pasternak, an award-winning author and mental health professional, and this channel is all about the intersection where writing meets psychology. I also post stuff about my author journey, baking bread, and outdoorsy stuff. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you're notified when I post a new video. So today we're going to talk about my favorite time waster, making novel aesthetics. If you are not familiar with the hashtag Thursday aesthetic, then head on over to Twitter or to Instagram, check those out, and be inspired. There's so many beautiful aesthetics. And when I first started out and I was seeing these, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could make something like that. They're so beautiful. But like, I'm a goblin and I don't have any kind of ability to make beautiful aesthetics like that. So I guess I'm just destined to be over here being a goblin. And totally not true. I have like no artistic talent at all. But even I can make, I think, and I have been told that they are pretty good aesthetics. And I am going to post some on a side or whatever, aesthetics that I have done for my works in progress. Maybe just one side. So I think they're all right, and I had fun making them, and they are really useful when it comes to like getting into the mood of your story or that particular character or an event. So we're going to talk about how I make aesthetics, and we're going to do the cutaway to my computer screen, and I'll kind of show you the programs that I use and let you in on some of my secrets that I use. And then I will post everything down below as far as I'm going to be talking about Pixabay and Pexels and stuff like that, though, and CANVA. So the free image sites that I use and the free editors online, etc. So all those will be posted down below. Yeah, hooray! And if I forget one, please comment and let me know I forgot one, because I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff. And yeah, and probably not write anything down because I'm irresponsible. Anyway, so let's go over to my screen view. Whatever way I'm pointing. Hello. Okay, so here we go. So step one in creating an aesthetic is get inspiration. Do your research. That's step one for anything. So do your research. And the way that I do my research is I mentioned the Thursday aesthetic hashtag before. So we will go to Thursday aesthetic. And this is the Twitter profile for Thursday aesthetic. We'll just go hit the hashtag right now because it is Thursday and we can see what people are putting out today. Okay. So Thursday aesthetic every month has like themed things. And if you post in that theme, then you can enter to win like a giveaway, I think. So right here, occupations. If you're going to post on the Thursday aesthetic hashtag, you do not have to post in the theme, but that's how you enter the contest. So occupations in this person's novel looks like farming and robots and medical and astronomy. And yep, and you can write a little outline or a little summary and stuff. Keeping on going. So these are aesthetic. Nope. Okay, aesthetic kind of inspiration. And some that I see on here, like I get super inspired by, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to try doing that. I've got to try pulling that off. Okay, so you just scroll through here and you find anything you super like. For sure, save it, check it out. Hey, look, there's mine from last week. Last week it was magic versus technology. So there's mine. Anyway. And then also on Instagram, same thing. And you can just scroll through, blah, blah, blah. And there's going to be some overlap with Twitter because like I know people like me, like I post on both places. But anyway, and then Pinterest as well. has aesthetics, but it's not like the hashtag thirsty aesthetic. It's more like, we'll say soldier aesthetic. Ooh, that is not how you spell aesthetic. Okay. And so then Pinterest will have stuff like this, which is cool. So there we go. So step 1 is done. Step 1, get inspiration. So after we have found our inspiration, we are going to go and we are going to collect our own images. And this for me is sometimes oh no, I need an image right now procedure, but more often it's stuff I've just kind of been collecting over the weeks or months or however long I've been writing my manuscript. Atomic Magicians is the one I'm working on right now. I have cover inspiration up here in like a subfolder, but then I've just kind of, any image that I kind of like for the story, I'll just add into here. And then later when I'm making aesthetics, I can come in and kind of choose which pictures that I really like. On the other hand, we're going to come up here too. And so I bookmarked all these royalty-free like image sites, these free to use image sites. And I will link all of these down in the comments. So we'll go to Unsplash. So here we are in Unsplash. So I will say military. So you just type in a word and then it will bring up a bunch of military images. So anything that's tagged with like the military tag, whoever uploaded it, that'll pop up in your search. So you can come through here, and if you find something that kind of speaks to your character or your novel, and you can save these into Pinterest, or you can just stick these in like save them to a folder on your drive, on your desktop or whatever. So that is step 2, collecting images. And once you have a nice little collection, like I've gotten here, we can go on to the next step. Now, if you are good with like Photoshop or, something like that, then go ahead and use that. But for me, using or making aesthetics, I think that CANVA is just such a super good program. It's free to use. There is a paid version of it, but you don't need it. So go get a CANVA account, open that up. And these are all of my designs. You can see this is where I do all of my aesthetics. So let's look at this one. So this one is for my book that's coming out in November. So I have aesthetics for that one that I just set up while I was writing it. And so this is kind of representative of my story. So it takes place in a forest, which is why I've got this down here, kind of a spooky forest. The magic in this world is based on strings, and they're described as looking kind of like spider webs in the air. So that's why I've got spider webby string things over here. My magic using characters, as well as the dragon, is a river dragon. Then my magic using character is a water magician, so water up here. And the story is based off of a Russian folk tale, Ilya Muromets and Nightingale the Robber. So this is Ilya, and this is Solovey Rozboynik up here, Nightingale. And so I added that in here as well. This is a character who no longer looks like this, but that's okay. They're here to stay for now. And then the Nightingale, the villain, he uses magic, sound magic. And in one of the scenes, he hits one of the characters and makes their ear bleed. So I found a picture of somebody whose ear is bleeding. And then this is a quote from the manuscript itself. And I'm not saying this is it's not like a formula. It's not what you have to do. But this is just kind of the things I was thinking about when I was picking out pictures, when I was putting things together. That's why this looks like this. Okay, so let's make a new aesthetic. So create design. And so in Canva, you can make custom dimensions if you want, but then they'll also make it easy for you. Twitter post, Instagram post, Facebook, whatever. So I always just do it in the dimensions of an Instagram post, because it'll post fine on Instagram and fine on Twitter. But if you make one Twitter size, then posting it to Instagram is kind of complicated. So mine are always just an Instagram size. Create a new folder, and it is whatever project it is, just over here so I can organize it. So I have all of these projects, and I want to make sure that things aren't just jumbled together. So I will make folders and put things in that folder. So Atomic Magicians is the one that we're going to do because that's actually going to be the aesthetic that I make and post today. And I already have a bunch of things uploaded in here, so I'm going to skip that step. But that is what you would do, is you would upload all of those pictures that you've been kind of squirreling away into this folder. And then we're going to go up here to Elements and Grids. So the grids are kind of the organization of your design. So like back here, this grid is set up kind of like this. And then when you drop pictures in here, it automatically fits it to this space. So this is actually a bigger picture. It's actually a bigger picture, but it only shows that piece that's inside the grid. I already have an idea of what I'm going to do. This is the occupation theme. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I have 5 characters. I like to get rid of the spacing so the pictures are flush together, but you can space them out as much as you want. But I like it to be flush. And now comes kind of the artistry of an aesthetic, is kind of knowing what you want to do and just doing trial and error. So the theme is occupation. So I have 5 characters and each of them has, you know, their own particular occupation. So we are going to, so Julia is a high school student. Boris is a soldier. Wutzia, who is kind of like a freedom fighter type person. Mikhail, who is also a soldier. And Oscar. Actually, let's search for a picture. Oscar's got a lot of scarring on his face. He wears a balaclava to kind of cover it up. So this might be the picture I go with. And I know that seems kind of like stupid, but he also wears big knit sweaters. He's not mentioned as wearing goggles, but you know what, whatever. Sometimes you gotta make compromises. Their eye lines are mostly lined up. Boris is a little bit low, but I can't really make him go up anymore without making his head huge, and I don't want to do that. This kind of looks trashy because she's in color, he's black and white color, muted colors. Like it doesn't look like a cohesive image. So in Canva, I'm going to click on one picture, filter, and I think I'm just going to make everybody black and white. So you pick the black and white down here. Everybody's black and white. And now it looks way more cohesive. Let's say, for example, I wanted to make it whimsical. Then it would be this color. But this isn't super going to work because like they're black and white. But it colorizes them a little bit. So that's what whimsical looks like. And even though it's still like color black and white, they all kind of look a little bit better. But I'm going to change them back to black and white. Okay. And now, what are their occupations? And I'm not going to sit here and type out high school student, military, hermit, or whatever. I'm going to come over here to text, add a heading, and type in what they really are at their core, what connects them all. And then over here, we'll do alchemy. I like this font. And make this bigger, move it down, center it. Occupation wise, they are all patriots. And I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. So there we go. That's my aesthetic. That's it. That's where we're at with the aesthetic. So you will have seen this yesterday because I'm going to put this video out on Friday, and you will have seen this aesthetic yesterday on the Thursday Aesthetic hashtag. Now, the very last thing we're going to talk about is giving credit where credit is due, because images like this belong to somebody, in general, belong to somebody. So that is why using like Unsplash and using all of these image sites are good, because these are all royalty free and they're fine to use, and you don't have to, I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't have to give like credit. You don't have to say this was, this picture was taken by so-and-so. And that is not always the case for Pinterest. So my recommendation for like credit where credit is due goes, because a lot of like these designs are just for me, and I don't I'm showing them to you now, but I don't post them around. And I don't use them as like advertisement for my stuff. They're, you know, my own inspiration. But if you're going to be using these, especially if you are like using them kind of in marketing, you want to give credit where it comes from. So this particular image right here, this is an illustration, this is an illustration, and this is an illustration. So somebody drew these. And if I were going to be posting this around and using it as like, hey, this is my book, buy my book type of thing, I would want to find out who these artists are and credit them for, or not him, you're a real person. This is an illustration. Illustration. I will want to credit the artists who drew these. And I got all of these just on Pinterest, kind of clicking around. Okay, Katarina. So this is the illustration that I used in the, in the aesthetic. So it's linked to Instagram. Oh, that's not available. I'm not going to go into it right here, but you could do like a reverse Google image search and see if you can track it back to the original artist who drew it. Let's see if this works better. All right. So here we go. Basil Burglar. And this is the Tumblr that it came from. So if I were using that in my aesthetic, I would want to link back to this because this is the artist and they're the one who drew this picture. This is actually, I really like this picture. I might use this one. And so yeah, like give artists credit. They deserve credit. And even photographs like this, because it was photographed, looks like for a magazine. So I would at least cite, this is the magazine that it came from. Just add that in links. And when I'm doing citations for stuff, I just have a separate Word document that I open up that I'm not going to fish out now because I forgot to open it up before I started this video. But I have a separate Word document and I just have things kind of lined up, and it'll be a short description of the picture and then colon the link that it goes to, just so I can kind of keep things straight. I don't have to kind of scramble to find where it came from. So that is it. That's all from me. Where did my thing go? Here we go. So this is going to be my aesthetic for today, and I'm going to post that on Twitter and on Instagram here in a couple of minutes. I'm going to send this back to my bookshelf self. Off we go. All right, there it is. And that's how I make aesthetics. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it was helpful. I really, really want to see everybody's aesthetics that they made based on my tutorial. It's always fun to teach a class and then have somebody come to you and say, look what I made because of what you said. That's like one of the greatest feelings in the world. And I really want to see what everybody made. So if you have an Instagram account, my Instagram is listed below, and I want you to post your aesthetic on your page and hashtag Thursday aesthetic. Do it on Thursdays if this lines up with it. And then tag me in it so that I can see it and I can share it, because I'm really interested to see if my method translates to other people and if that's helpful. So anyway, that's all from me, and have fun making aesthetics and have a nice day.